Hello there, this is Nerdy Geeky, and today I just wanted to talk about a theory that I've seen being passed around that Yoda is dead by the time Luke gets to him in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. And straight out, I'm just going to say that I think this theory is really dumb, and this is why. Basically, what the prevailing theory is that Yoda is dead, and Luke is sent there by Ben to be taught under Yoda, because Yoda has unfinished business and therefore he can't move on to the next life, and he's the only one that can train Luke. But it's one of those theories where people only make up an excuse for something that contradicts it once it's been presented, and there's no real cohesion between all of the arguments. Also, a lot of the arguments are based on like real life folklore of ghosts, and we're talking about another galaxy here in a fictional universe, and they're not really specifically ghosts, but they're force ghosts made of the force. So let's just get into it. Right, some of the theories are that Yoda is stuck on Dagobah, like Yoda can't leave it, because, you know, he would have done ages ago, wouldn't he? Well, no, that's the point. Yoda isn't so much stuck on Dagobah, but in a kind of self-exile. He knew that he couldn't defeat the Emperor, so he went to Dagobah, and if you watch my video on the Cave of Evil, you'll know that the Cave of Evil gives off such a strong dark side presence. It actually hides Yoda from the Emperor's sort of meditation when he looks for Force-sensitive people, especially since he probably will still be searching for Yoda. So Dagobah protects Yoda in that sense, and that is why Yoda stays there until A New Hope arises. There's one theory that because Ben's a ghost, it means Yoda's a ghost. I don't even know, that just sounds, honestly, it sounds stupid just saying it. Ben is a ghost, that's why he's all glowy. That doesn't mean Yoda's a ghost. It doesn't mean that Luke's a ghost once he gets to Dagobah. It doesn't mean that anybody else that he interacts with is a ghost. So, you know, Yoda's not a ghost just because Ben is. There's another one about R2-D2 always being scared. Well, in all fairness, he is in a very foreign land, in the middle of a swamp with all sorts of creatures around, and Yoda seems to have gone pretty mental in the years that he's been there. So Yoda probably is a little bit R2-D2 probably is a little bit unnerved by that, considering he has met Yoda before and Yoda was very coherent, and now he seems a little bit crazy. A lot of people think that Yoda has unfinished business, which is why he dies once Luke's training is as complete as it can be. I don't believe this. I believe that Yoda did have unfinished business. He stuck around to train the next Jedi, or you know, what will eventually probably become the next leader of a new Jedi Council if the Emperor could be defeated, and obviously was. Yeah, Yoda did have unfinished business, but this doesn't make him a ghost. It just makes him someone that stuck around long enough. I mean, he was already, by the time Episode 7 came, by the time Episode 1 came around, he was probably already about 870 or something like that, so he's about 900 years old, so you can't blame him for kicking it just about the right time that Luke's just about been trained. Luke probably could have done with more training, but he didn't get it. He had to go off on his own and get his next training by himself. Darth Vader not knowing about Yoda in Cloud City. I've written this down because a lot of people believe that when you're strong enough with the Force, you can read someone's mind. To a point you can, but you can only read someone's mind when they're not guarding themselves against certain information. When Darth Vader was fighting Luke Skywalker in Bespin, Luke Skywalker wasn't so much concerned about Yoda, he wasn't thinking about Yoda, nor was he provoked to discuss Yoda. You see, on the Death Star 2 in Episode 6, Darth Vader is provoking Luke, and Luke gets worried about Leia being his sister and being as maybe even as powerful as he is and turning to the dark side eventually. He brings Leia to the front of his mind, which is why Darth Vader can then see and sense that he's thinking about Leia, his sister. He doesn't think about Yoda and Bespin because he's more concentrated on the fight, more concentrated on Darth Vader, and when then Darth Vader reveals that he's his father, then of course he's not even thinking about Yoda at all. It's not that once you get these strong force powers you can literally read everyone's memories and everyone's minds all at once. It's nothing like that at all. It's never like that unless maybe there's a super duper powerful Sith or something that can do it. But no, not in the middle of a battle as well anyway. When Yoda dies, people say, oh well, he just disappears, but other people like Darth Vader was burned, so was Qui-Gon Jinn. It's like, yeah, you don't have to be burned to become a Force ghost. They weren't prepared to die when they died. Therefore, that's the difference, see, because if you look at old Ben, in Star Wars Episode 4, he pulled up his lightsaber and let Darth Vader kill him because he was prepared to die. Qui-Gon Jinn, as a Force Ghost, had taught Obi-Wan Kenobi to become a Force Ghost when needed to be. So he let himself die. And because he was prepared to die, his body disappeared instantly and became one with the Force. And this is the thing about Yoda as well, especially if you've watched the last series of the Clone Wars, you will see that Yoda's been trained to know how to become a Force Ghost. So therefore, when Yoda died in Star Wars Episode 6, he was already prepared to become part of the Force, so then he just disappeared by himself. It wasn't that he had unfinished business, and once it was finished, he would disappear. If he had unfinished business, he would have waited until the Emperor was dead to disappear, but he didn't. He disappeared before the Emperor was dead, before he knew Luke was successful, before Luke's training was really that complete. There's another one as well, like Yoda took his lightsaber when he left Episode 3, and people were like, well, he didn't have it in Episodes 5 and 6. Well, you don't know, you didn't see it. Just because you didn't see it doesn't mean it wasn't there. It's implied that Yoda has given Luke a relative amount of lightsaber training, since Luke's lightsaber skills grow so drastically between Episodes 4 and 6. So yeah, I do believe that he does have his lightsaber and he has taught Luke things. You just didn't see it. There wasn't enough time to see that. You can't see everything. But yes, I would imagine that he still had his lightsaber. He just hasn't used it in a long time, or doesn't need to use it. He's teaching Luke how to use the Force at first. Using a lightsaber would come next. So, you know, so Luke doesn't like chop his own limbs off or anything like that, which seems to be a big thing in Star Wars. So yeah, I mean, personally, I think that's debunked. I think it's a ridiculous theory. I think, again, it's one of these things where people are looking too deep into something and trying to find maybe a dark meaning or some sort of other meaning, or like some secret Easter egg. But no, I mean, if Yoda was a Force Ghost like every other Force Ghost you've ever seen in every other iteration of Star Wars, he would glow, he would be translucent, and the fact is that, and probably have a bit of an echoey voice, but the fact is he wasn't. He was on Dagobah for his own protection, so the Emperor couldn't find him. He was waiting for Luke after all these years. He died of old age once he could. I mean, there's a few years between all these films, so, you know, and all that training Luke intensively would have taken a lot out of him, and it's probably the last sort of energy that he had left in his life. Darth Vader not being able to read a mind, well, they can't just read everyone's mind. Luke would have to be thinking about Yoda quite openly in his mind for Darth Vader to know about him. And that's that, really. And Yoda just disappearing, well, Ben did it, and Ben wasn't a ghost at the start of Episode 4. They were just prepared to be a Force Ghost. Anyway, thank you for watching this, and if you like my other videos, please subscribe, please check them out, and I'm going to keep trying to do these videos. But personally, I think that's debunked. I mean, if you got another reason, or if you believe he was a ghost, if you don't believe he was a ghost, please put it in the comment section below, and I would love to read that. I won't just tell you you're an idiot straight out, don't worry about it, but I would love to see other people's points of view on these films. Thank you very much, and until later.